Good day everyone, you're welcome back to this channel. What I have today is how to make a simple blouse but very easy to cut. I'll be taking you step by step on how to cut this blouse. So you'll find this tutorial helpful. All you need to do is just to take your time and watch this video to the end. Thanks. So let's get started. Now I've folded my fabric into 4 pieces. As you can see, I have 1, 2, 3 and 4. I have 4 pieces here. So the first thing I'm going to do right here is to mark my zero line. I'm going to start from the upper part here. I'm going to mark 1 inch downwards. 1 inch. Can you see? So I also place it to the other end here and I mark 1 inch as well. So I'm going to connect these lines together using my ruler. Can you see? So this becomes my zero line, like I said, and it is on this line I'm going to impute my shoulder line and also my neckline. But before I go to that, I will quickly mark the length for this top, which is, I'll first mark the half cut, which is 17 inches. I extend it to the other side here. I mark 17 inches also. So I also connect these lines together. I hope you can see this line. So from this point, I'm going to mark 10 inches or 11 inches downward. That is 10 inches plus 1 inch for my hem allowance. So I'll be marking 11 inches downwards. I also extend it to this end and I mark 11 inches. So I will also connect so the next thing I'm going to do right now is to go quickly to the shoulder line. So the shoulder line, the shoulder for this top is 14 inches, and 14 divided by 2 gives me 7 inches. So I will be marking 7 inches on this zero line. I have it here. Okay, so from this point, from this shoulder line where I just stopped, I'm going to mark 1.5 inches downwards. So I have it here. I will just connect 1.5. So I have it here, 1.5. So I'm going to work now on the neckline. I will be making use of the 3.5 by 2 inches neckline standard. So I have, for the width, I will be marking 3.5. the width of the neckline. Then the depth, I will be marking 2 inches. I mark 2 inches for the depth. So I will also extend it to this center point, and I mark 2 inches. So I'm going to connect this line. As you can see me doing, I connect the lines together. Can you see? It gives me a rectangular shape. So right now I'm going to use my curve, French curve, to create a curve around the neckline. You could use your free hand if you are so perfect. If your hand is straight, you could use your free hand. But if you are a beginner, I will advise you to use your French curve like I'm doing right now. I'm doing this for the sake of our beginners. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is just to connect from this neckline downwards. So I connect. I hope you can see the line very clearly. So from this shoulder slope, I'm going to mark the length of my sleeve, and for this I will be making use of 7.5 as my sleeve length, 7.5 inches. So I have my 7.5 inches right here. From the shoulder slope down to this place gives me 7.5 inches. Now from that point, I'm going to mark the sleeve circumference. Now I will be making use of this. Sleeve circumference is 13 inches divided by 2 gives me 6.5 inches. So I'm going to add extra 0.5, making it 7. So from here, I'm going to connect to this point using my ruler. So right now, I will quickly go to the half cut line, that is the waistline. Now, to determine the circumference on the waist, because it's an elastic blouse, it's an elastic blouse. So what I'm going to do is to make use of the bust circumference. And the bust circumference for this is 36 inches divided by 4. I will be having 9. So I'm going to add extra 1.5 inches to it, which is 9 plus 1.5, giving me the total of 10.5. So I have it here. So what I have on this half cut, on this waistline, is what I will be transferring to the hip line. So I will mark 10.5 also at the base here. So right now, I will just connect these lines upwards. Please pardon my line. It's just the texture of this fabric. But I hope you can see the line very clearly. So I'm going to extend it upwards. So right now I'm going to make a little curve right here. Sorry, I need to extend the sleeve outward a bit, but it's still the 7 inches which I marked initially for the mouth of the sleeve. So I'm going to use to check. I have 7. So right now we just make a curve right here just to meet what I have on this. On the waist line. So this one is not reckoned with. That is, this line is not reckoned with. So you can see this is the original line I will be working with. So I want a curve here. So because of that, so I will need to reduce this by half an inch. So instead of adding 1.5 inch to the 1/4 of the bust, I'll be adding 1 inch, so that I'll be having the total of 10 inches on the waistline, so that I can achieve this curve here. So I'll just mark it downwards. And you see, so I won't be using this line, but this is the new line I've just created. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to cut it out. So I'm going to cut it out, tracing this shape. Remember, I said that I'm not working with this line, but this new line which I've just created. Then all other line will be followed. Hello everyone, you're welcome back to this channel. What I have today is how to make a very simple top, and trust you're going to enjoy this tutorial. Just take your time and watch to the end. Thanks. So let's get started. Now I've folded this fabric into four equal pieces. Can you see? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm using 1 yard of fabric. Now the first thing I'm going to do right here is to determine, I want to show you the full length. I will be making use of 23 inches as the length. Now I have the length here. I have 23 inches right here. So I'm going to add extra 6 inches to it. So I'm going to extend it to 29. That is 23 plus 6 gives me 29 inches. So the 0.5 inches left is going to be for my hem allowance. So right now I'm going to start properly Now I will go ahead right now and measure the half cut. Now is a blouse, so I'm going to measure the half cut. I will be using 17 inches from the top here down. I mark 17 inches. I also extend it to this end and I mark 17 inches as well. Can you see? 17 inches. So I'm going to connect these lines together using my ruler. So I connect using my ruler. So I hope you can see the line. So I'm just trying to make it more bold or clear so that you can see it clearly. So this is the half cut for this blouse. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to go back to the neckline. First, I'm going to measure the shoulder line. Now the shoulder for this is 14 inches. 14 divided by 2 gives me 7. So I'm going to mark from this center point here. I'm going to mark 7 inches here. I have it here. Okay, so from this point here, I'm going to come down by 3/4 of an inch as my shoulder slope. So I go back to the neckline. So I will be making use of the 3.5 by 2 neckline standard. So the width is going to be 3.5, that is 3.5 inches. That's for the width. The depth, I will be making use of 2 inches. 2 inches for the depth. So I'm going to connect this line together to give me a rectangular. It's going to give me a rectangular shape. So I connect. Can you see? So I also connect upwards to meet the width of the neckline. Can you see? So right now I'm going to use my curve to create a curve right here. Can you see? So the next thing I'm going to do is just to connect this point to this shoulder slope using my ruler. So I connect. I hope you can see. So right now, so from the neckline, I'm going to bring it downwards. Now this is where the shoulder line stops. Now I'm going to also measure the length of the sleeve. And for this, I will be making use of 9 inches plus 0.5 or 1 inch for the hem allowance. Let me use 1 inch, giving me the total of 10. So I connect this to this. So from here, so I'm going to consider the sleeve circumference, which is 13. 13 divided by 2 gives me 6.5. So I'm going to mark 6.5 right here. And I connect to this point, 6.5. So I'm going to go up here to determine my bust, and that's the normal little calculation I'm going to use is the bust divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches. So I have it here. From this shoulder line, I'm going to measure. So I'll be having like that is, instead of 7.5, I make it 8 because it's meant to be a free top, not too tight. So from here, I'm going to connect to this point. So I'll quickly go to the waistline. So the down part, which is the hip line, is what I will be also including in this waistline because it's going to, this place is going to have elastic. So the hip is 36 divided by 4. I have 9 inches plus 1 inch as my seam allowance. So I'll be imputing 10 inches. I'll also go to the hip. I measure 10 inches. So I connect this line straight upwards. This is 10 inches right here. Let me be very sure so that I can obtain a straight line. So I'm going to connect. Can you see? So right now, we just make a little curve here. Just a little curve right here. So, and if you don't get this, all you need to do, whatever you have here, like in this case, I have 10 here, I'm going to add extra 1 inch. So, it means on the shoulder, on the bust line, it's going to be 12 or 11.5. So that's why I say I will have to curve it. So I will just connect to this. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to cut it out. If you look at this shape, you discover that it's too sharp. So instead of making it like that, let me come out by 1 inch. So I'm going to connect like this. So I can now make my curve right here. Can you see? So I cut, I make my curve right here, downwards. So the next thing for me right now is to cut it out. Now as you can see, this is the shape haven't cut the tracing the line or the shape to cut it out. This is what I have. Can you see? So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to cut the facing for the neck. After cutting the facing for the neck, then I'm going to open it. So I'm going to open it right side to right side. So right side to right side, I place it like this. So after I've cut the facing, I'm going to place the facing, work with the facing first before I come to the shoulder and stitch it like this, and also like this. So like I said, I'm going to cut the facing. As you can see here, I've cut the facing, 2 pieces of the facing. What I actually do was to place this one on the fabric which I folded into 2 or 4. Then I use it tracing the neckline to cut it out. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to stitch it on the neckline, this facing, like this. Can you see? So I'm going to run a stitch like 0.5 on the neckline. So I will also do it to the second piece. So after that, then I'll be right back. Now, as you can see right here, I've stitched the facing to the main fabric. Can you see? I've run a stitch, and after that, I notch it. Then I now place it like this, and I run a stitch also across this point. And that is what I also did to the second piece. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to also place these 2 pieces right side to right side. Can you see? So I'm going to place it right side to right side like this. So from the shoulder line, I'm going to run a stitch. I'm going to sew across like this down to the sleeve. So I run a stitch here and also to the other side. Now, as you can see right here, I've stitched the sleeve. Can you see? So the next thing I'm going to do right here is to stitch the sides. So I'm going to stitch. So I sew the side. Downwards. Also the second side, I will also do likewise. I sew from here downwards. After that, then I will go to the down part and also sew in like this. Round. That's the next thing. So as you can see, I've sealed the sides, the 2 sides. Can you see? So initially I said that I'm going to fold the down part. No, I won't do that. Before I do that, now what I'm going to do is to mark from the base here. I'm going to mark 11 inches upward. So I extend it to this place, and I also mark 11 inches upward. So I'm going to connect this line straight using my ruler. So right now, what I mark here is what I will be marking at the back side, the other side. So as you can see, I've also marked the line on both sides here and also here. Can you see? So the next thing I'm going to do right now from the base, I'm going to match the edge here to this line like this. I'm going to fold it in like this. And I'll make sure that it touches the line which I've just drawn. Can you see? I'll also make sure that the one at the back also lies on the line. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to run a stitch, leaving 0.5 downwards. I'm going to run a stitch like this, but I will make sure that I will run a stitch not down, not like this. No, I'm going to run it. I will open it like this, use my pin to hold it round. I will pin it, then I stitch it round. So that's the next thing. After that, I will also run another stitch like 0.5 in between the second time. Then I will leave an opening where I'm going to pass my elastic. Now, can you see I've run a stitch, two parallel line of stitch round the circumference. With this same white thread, I think you can see it very, very clearly. So now I've decided to leave an opening here. Can you see the opening? So this is where I'm going to pass my elastic round. Now to determine the length of my elastic, what I'm going to do right here, I'm going to measure what I have here. I have 18 inches here. So this 18 inches right here, I'm going to remove just I'm going to remove 6 inches or 7 inches. So which means supposing I remove 7 inches from 18, I will be having 11. So 11 times 2, that is 22. So it means I'm going to cut, the length of my elastic is going to be 22. So that is what I'm going to insert round to complete this part. Then the next thing is just to fold the sleeve like this with 0.5 like this and run the stitch round also to the other side. Then I'm through with this tutorial. So by the time I'm back, then you see the you will see the complete the by the time I come back, yes, I will show it to you. So Here comes the conclusion of this tutorial. Can you see the blouse, the top? Very simple and beautiful. Now, the sides here, after stitching the sides or sewing the side, I went ahead and notch it from inside, from the wrong side. I notch it so that it can relax well like this. So I also did it to the second part here. So if you're doing yours, make sure you notch it on both sides of the sleeve here. So you can see how neat this this cloth is. I hope you have found this tutorial helpful. If you have, please give it a big thumbs up. Thank you very much. So till I come your way, if you have any question regarding this tutorial, please feel free to drop your question in the comment section. And if you have any comments, please drop it as well. Like I said earlier on, if you have not subscribed to this channel, kindly do that now. Just click on the subscribe button below, and you also click on that notification bell so that you can have access to my video. So till we meet again, bye for now.